Tired of the state of so-called popular music? Sick of searching everywhere for authentic bands and musicians?
Now you've seen how bad things can get and how quick they can get that way.
Got the overproduced, under-talented auto-tune blues?
Yeah!
Then keep it tuned. Real music is on the way. This is Almost Famous. Your home, the best local musicians, and select live performances.
Here's Johnny.
Here's John Shea.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Lisa.
And Lisa Azizian.
Welcome to the second hour of Almost Famous here on 95.9 WATD. Local music every Tuesday night, 8 to 10 p.m., brought to you each week by Tiny & Sons Glass, Route 53 in Pembroke, online at tinyandsons.com. This is where we get to introduce you to some great live local music. We call it the Tiny Stage, and on the Tiny Stage tonight, we welcome back Mr. Brian Caroll. Brian, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself, John?
Doing awesome. Thank you so much for coming down tonight.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
We enjoy having you. Now, we ask this every time, but just in case somebody doesn't know, who is Brian Caroll?
Brian Caroll is a guy that plays a bunch of instruments with as many people as possible, writes songs, and hopes that someone cares to listen, I guess.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people care to listen tonight. We have you live in studio. It's a captive audience.
It sure is.
Unless they hit the seek button.
Stay where you are.
Exactly. Do not touch that dial because you're going to hear a lot of great songs, great stories, and we'll tell you about some cool events, too, all within the next 60 minutes. 60 minutes. So, you've got a new CD out?
I've got two, actually.
Two new CDs out.
One really new one and one kind of new one. Yeah, so first one came out in January. It was called Canyon. I recorded it down at Dirt Floor Studio in Chester, Connecticut with my good friend Eric Lichter.
And by the way, you were our local artist of the day today with the song Climb.
All right, how about that? Nice. So I recorded it down there with Eric and my buddy Ian Fitzgerald, who you mentioned earlier.
Saw him last night.
Yeah, James Maple, Zach Schmidt were also around. It was mastered by Steve Whitus down there. It's a big old family down at Dirt Floor.
And how about the new album?
I did that at home. Not quite as
polished.
Not quite as we'll say polished. But yeah, it's called Still. I'll have hard copies for anyone who comes to the show next week. CD release at Passim on the 25th. Just giving them out as a thank you to folks who come out to the show. So
fantastic. And in addition to recording two CDs in the past 3 months, you've also put together a compilation CD, a second volume of a compilation CD involving many local artists, right?
Yeah. We're it's mixed and it's just on to mastering now, and it should be out in the next couple of weeks. And volume 3, actually, we're tracking 3 more songs for it on Sunday. So moving along with it.
Now, fantastic. Now, explain what this project is in case anybody's unfamiliar. It's called Locals Covering Locals.
Yeah. The basic idea behind it is I feel like the best songwriters that I know are the people that I surround myself with here in town and in New England. And I have so much respect for so many of them. So I started playing their songs at my gigs, and I just kind of had this idea to apply for a Club Passim Iguana Fund grant to go into the studio, bring some of my friends along, and let them share songs that they really thought, kind of needed to be heard. And we did it once. We're finishing up the second one and rounding out the third one. So I guess it can go on as long as there's people who write great songs. I don't think there's any shortage of those. So. Well,
you're one of those people. Can we hear one of your songs?
Yeah, sure. Let's. You said "Climb" was the song of the day.
The song of the day here on WATD.
I guess
9:40 and 12:40 every day. We do a local artist.
All right. Well, let's play that then. I guess.
Brian Caroll on the Tiny Stage here on 95.9. Take it away.
Spent a lifetime looking just for a reason, and pacing circles in my mind, like a rolling stone without a purpose, aimlessly rolling down the mountainside. And the wheels keep on spinning in the same place. We're running out of time. Tell me why I'm not climbing yet, if the mountain ain't that hard to climb. In the landscape it is rising up around you. Bring it down and point your rifle to the sky. And you soar and try to feel all the warmth of the sun. But those wax wings that you sprouted weren't meant to fly. And the wheels keep on spinning in the same place. We're running out of time. Tell me why I'm not climbing yet, if the mountain ain't that hard to climb. And you'll find your way out of this chaotic chasm, with your eyes fixed on that horizon of pine. Broken pavement cracks in the dusted fields of sky, and still find the strength to move on down the line. And the wheels keep on spinning in the same place. We're running out of time. Tell me why I'm not climbing yet, if the mountain ain't that hard to climb. Tell me why I'm not climbing yet, if the mountain ain't that hard to.
Brian Caroll on the tiny stage tonight. 95.9 WATD. That comes off the Canyon CD, correct?
It does, yeah. There's 4 songs on there. And that's the first one, the first track, I believe, yeah.
What's the story behind that song?
So the story behind it's kind of a concept album of sorts. I wrote all the songs while I was out in the wilderness of the Canadian Rockies, backpacking with my wife. And I brought along a moleskin notebook and a pen, and basically just said, I'm going to write a bunch of songs or lyrics or poems, whatever you want to call them. I didn't have an instrument with me at the time. And I came back with a notebook full of words and kind of just sat down and put them to music, and wound up with about 12 songs and recorded the 4 best that we thought were the most solid collection. So
fantastic. Where can these new CDs be found? On your website?
Yeah, so there's a music tab on briancarrollmusic.com that will lead you to a Bandcamp page, briancarroll.bandcamp.com. Bandcamp's a beautiful, wonderful thing.
It's a great website. I love
tool. It. Yeah, so those are both up there. 2 tracks from the new one are up there right now, streaming. And I don't even know how many other recordings I have up there. I have quite a few. So
now, about was it last year or the year before, you took the EP challenge?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I recorded an EP a month for about 7 months. So I wrote and recorded 3 songs on a different theme every month. And then last year I did the February RPM challenge, where you're supposed to write either 35 minutes and record 35 minutes or 10 songs. And I kind of fell short last year. I released an EP called Miscellaneous, which is just kind of a cluster of different songs that I plucked out of the air. And again, this year, that's what still came out of was I didn't follow through with the entire challenge and do 35 minutes or 10 songs, but I wanted to kind of take the challenge again and at least come up with an EP out of it. So
now, did you find when you did the EP challenge, did you find that difficult, or did it kind of come naturally to you?
It definitely challenged me to write more, and I mean, the songs are up there on the Bandcamp page it's called the Monthly EPs Collection. And I mean, some songs are better than others, but that's kind of just the way it goes. They're out there now forever for people to consume if they wish, and you write some good ones, you write some bad ones.
Sounds good. Brian Carroll's on our tiny stage tonight on 95.9 WATD. What's next on your set list? Let's go into another song.
Actually, so I guess we can talk about this when we come back from this. I'm going to cover a friend in the in the vein of the whole locals covering locals thing, I'm going on tour next week with my good buddy Ian Fitzgerald. So I guess I will cover one of his songs.
Fantastic. Ian's amazing. What song are you playing for us?
We'll do Galveston.
All right. I love how you do this song, by the way.
I don't even know how I'm going to do it tonight, so we'll see. In the dim light of day, when the whole room turns gray and the afternoon's heavy with pale heat, she turns her clock on its side, so the 6 is a 9, and it's a matter of time till she fails me. She lifts up her head from the blanketless bed, says, I hope you know what a pal you've been. Like love was a handshake or worse, a mistake, and she wished she'd never left Galveston. 'Cause you can wait and wonder why we don't get the second try. I've been gone and back again. Well, I ain't been to Galveston. I sweep out the dust by the lights build up with my hands as I sit on the cool floor. If it don't pull me under, it can't hurt to wonder sometimes how long I've been a fool for. And since my mind drifts, I just wonder if light is brighter with the silver spoons, or if the cloud that just flew was dust from her boots that traveled here from Galveston. 'Cause you can wait and wonder why we don't get the second try. I've been gone and back again. Well, I ain't been to Galveston. When her hand reaches for me, I try to ignore the dark's an excuse good as any. And from memory, things that she said to me, I repeated and asked if she meant them. She eased her ear to my lips, whispered, you've learned my tricks, hocus pocus and simsalabim. And then she rolled over gently, the whole room felt empty. She could have been in Galveston. 'Cause you can wait and wonder why we don't get a second try. I've been gone and back again. Well, I ain't been to Galveston. I've been gone and back again. Well, I ain't been to Galveston. I've been gone and back again. Well, I ain't been to Galveston.
Brian Caroll on 95.9 WATD, covering the incredible Ian Fitzgerald. Nice job on that.
Thank you so much. Hopefully we did him some justice.
I think you did. His CD, which is called, it's slipping my mind,
No Time to Be Tender.
No Time to Be Tender, is amazing.
It is. And right before that, Empty Like the Lion's Den, which came out a couple years back, is also worth checking out.
I don't have that one.
You should definitely get it. He's also working on another record right now with, as you saw at the 2-year anniversary show, Smith and Whedon from Providence is backing him up on some tracks on that.
Which, by the way, I need to tell you congratulations on that show, because that was one of the music highlights of the year so far for me.
Hopefully it stays that way.
I think it will. It's going to be hard to top that, because that was, I don't think you could have fit another person on that bill that night.
No, I don't know if I'd want to try. To be honest, it was a great night, but full of stress for sure.
And what I loved about that night too was, and I was just talking to somebody about this earlier today, is that it was a night that not only was filled with a lot of music but community too. It was the whole kind of not Americana but kind of folk and rock and roots. So it was just kind of like a whole combination of people there who just felt like family.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I always use. I use the word family because so many of these people I care a great deal about, and they really are. They are like family. It's we all take care of each other and we boost each other up, and it's really a wonderful thing that we have going here in the Camberville, Boston, whatever you want to call it, community.
And something that you have going right now is the Redline Roots blog. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. What do you want to know? I mean, I try to roll out, a couple of interviews a week, a feature here and there, reviews, stuff like that. Keeps me busy.
What inspired it?
Like I was saying earlier, I felt like there was kind of a gap missing, I guess, as far as coverage for people that I thought were so incredible and such talented musicians, and I just kind of wanted to create this platform that hopefully would reach a broader audience than what they normally would.
Now, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but who has crossed your desk with Redline Roots that has really impressed you lately?
Lately, I would have to say Molly Pinto Madigan's last record was great. You had her on earlier. Krista Baroni, she just blew me away with the record she released recently. And, obviously I just covered Ian's song, but also there's a band called The Wiles, which is made up of Ellie Buckland and Issa Burke and Molly. I'm going to mispronounce her last name, Obamsawan, I believe it is. But they're a trio, and they're actually coming in to record for Locals, covering Locals on Sunday up at Riverview Studios. And they're awesome. They're so good.
Fantastic. And the website for Redline Roots?
redlineroots.com.
Fantastic. And if somebody wants to submit to that, is the information on the website?
That's a good question. It should be, but redlineroots@yahoo.com is the best way to get in touch. If you Facebook message asking for stuff, I tend to lose it in the mix. So,
as do we all. So I want to have you play another song live, and then maybe after that we can go to the track that you have queued up here.
Yes.
Which I've been listening to all morning on repeat.
Yeah.
Can't wait to share this.
It's interesting for sure. I guess we'll do something off of Still. I recorded these songs and had cheat sheets in front of me, which I actually have a cheat sheet in front of me right now for
it's
lyrics,
radio.
but
Nobody can see it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they can, because we'll be on the Raynham Channel.
At some point, they will.
Margot is here filming tonight, as always.
So yeah, I'll play something off of that, I guess. So, wish me luck.
Good luck.
First time ever debut here on Almost Famous on WATD. Rusted in through a tin roof, broke down, beaten and abused. Past is gone, and so it will remain. Time has not been good to me. Face lines mark my sins and deeds, and your pretty face, oh, it looks the same. And the wind sneaks, cracks in through the windows, and the cold is leaking past the blinds. And I can't seem to stop thinking about a time when she almost was mine. Bedrock rising from the crust, kick from boots rising to dust, unsettled and steering up the Shane. Rain clouds hang a bit too heavy, high water's broken through the levee, and I can't help but try to dull the pain. And the memories are faded like a picture, hanging on the walls inside this vacant room. Some sort of feeling used to live here, darling, but was packed away in boxes and up and moved. Hollowed out by winter chill, vessel needing to be filled. Spring will come and rebirth something new. Stagnant water from the well has run, rusted out the still, and I can't help from thinking long on you. And I see you smiling in a picture, like emotions you like to fake. So come on, honey, come here just a little closer. There are choices that we must make. Rusted in through a tin roof, broke down, beaten and abused. Past is gone, and so it will remain. Time has not been good to me. Face lines mark my sins and deeds. Still your pretty face, so it looks the same. Still your pretty face, so it looks the same. Still your pretty face, so it looks the same.
Brian Caroll on the tiny stage tonight, 95.9 WATD. Sounding amazing, my friend.
Thank you so much. Nice to hear that.
Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back. Always a pleasure.
Do you have a set release date for that song? Or for the album?
Well, yeah, next Wednesday at Club Passim, March 25th.
Oh, so the hard copy is going to be ready? That's cool.
Yeah,
you work fast.
they should be here tomorrow, yeah. So, and anyone who buys a ticket and comes to the show goes home with a copy of the new one, just as a thank you for coming to the show. So,
fantastic. We have Brian Caroll live in studio tonight. A quick shout out to my man Hollis listening tonight in Plymouth. He says that you sound awesome tonight, man.
Well, thank you, Hollis. Appreciate that.
All right. Right now, though, you brought along a track that you sent earlier today, and you want to do this now or you want to wait?
Let's do it now. No
All
time
right, cool.
like the present, right?
Will you talk us into it, man?
Yeah, so this is some of my favorite folks in the world, the Whiskey Boys, who are playing with Molly Pinto-Madigan this Thursday at Club Passim for her CD release show.
Will you be there?
Yes, I do believe I will be there. Yes.
Now, for those that don't know Brian, it's very difficult to get him into the city on a weekday night.
Oh, it's not that difficult. I just have to plan it because I work in the city. But they really surprised me and asked if they could cover one of my songs, which I was not expecting anyone from these projects to actually do. So it was a really humbling experience, and they absolutely nailed it. So, yeah.
Let's do it. This is the Whiskey Boys covering...
This Town by...
Who?
Me, Brian Caroll.
Well, the money's moving in. It's moving into town. Spreading like a wildfire and burning it all down. And the people all are asking, should I stay or should I go? Well, the mob is getting restless and they're scared what they don't know. Oh, this town don't feel like home anymore. As they're laying down the rails, still people on the corners just begging for a meal. There's so much indifference, and I see it every day. This town don't feel like home, it's safe to say. got here. I don't know where I am from. Why can't things be the same as they were when I was young? There's no deer in the forest. The wild hen can't roost. Well, you're searching for the answers, babe. But there ain't no use on this town. Don't feel like home anymore.
Whiskey Boys there, 95.9 WATD, covering some obscure singer-songwriter from Scituate. Who was that written by?
That was written by me, Brian Caroll.
And that's your ode to Scituate.
It's not a very nice one. My mother, actually, and Big Al Kozlowski, always get angry at me when I sing that song. But,
I like it.
It was just about, things changing, money moving into town, and not being so blue-collar anymore, and,
Now
gentrification and all that.
The Locals Covering Locals Volume 2, you said is mastered?
It's
Being mastered.
going to mastering soon. We're just waiting on a few things. I think we'll be collecting the files on Sunday when we're in the studio and send them off to Steve Whitus at Dirt Floor down in Chester, Connecticut. So yeah, we're on the way.
That sounds great. I'm going to have you go right into another song.
All right.
Because I'm dying to hear more. What do you got next?
I'll do another one off Canyon. This song on the record has like all sorts of really great parts, but you're just gonna get me today. So
Very cool. Brian
listen
Caroll.
to the record and compare and contrast.
And you can find the record where?
BrianCarollmusic.com or BrianCaroll.bandcamp.com.
Fantastic. Brian Caroll on the tiny stage. It's all yours.
Well, a vagrant that's too ambitious to see when he is lost and he is treading in a sea of trees, with his eyes solely concentrated on the highest peak. But he's tumbling low down, deep in the thicket lay the house that he built. Careful, crafted, purposely, a vessel for his guilt. He keeps his skeletons locked away out there inside, safer buried away than in his own mind. I'm going down. I'm going down. Just another used book on a shelf, soaked with kerosene. I'll burn this whole house around myself. Well, the pages burn in effigy in your head, just decorative binding, taking space in my stead. I'm going down. I'm going down. In the skies
will be littered in ashes, and the day will become the night. You try to find the clearing through the fall. We'll be running towards the light, running towards the light. Where the rubble of the mess lies the one, his bones for the flesh, yellowed by the sun, barren, stripped of everything that he once was. So what are you when you've got nothing? And I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down.
Brian Caroll sounding great tonight on 95.9 WATD. We have to take a quick time out, but we have more local music heading your way in just a few here on 95.9 WATD. And we are on the tiny stage tonight with Brian Caroll here on 95.9 WATD. A little late getting back to the mic for this one, but yeah, he's sounding great tonight. He's in the next room on the tiny stage, named after Tiny & Sons Glass, Route 53 in Pembroke. Tiny, a sponsor of Almost Famous since day one. Brian, how you holding up in there?
I'm doing good. How you doing, John?
Doing great. Hanging out with you, listening to some great live music, talking about some live music, talking about local music.
It's like any other night of us just hanging out.
It is. It's exactly like us just hanging out. Now, who are some of your favorite people to listen to or watch from the local music community?
Well, obviously Ian Fitzgerald. I think he is probably the greatest songwriter that I have ever met. He also is really, really excellent at adding harmonies, and he's a great rhythm guitar player, so playing with him is a lot of fun. And I think we're going to have a blast going on tour. Haunt the House, Will Houlihan's project with Bessie B and Amato Zinno are absolutely fantastic. They actually covered one of Ian's tunes for Locals Covering Locals. Another band out of Providence, Smith and Whedon. I really just latched onto them big time.
They closed the night at the second anniversary show.
Yes, and
which I missed. I'm so sad. I left before they hit the stage, which I'm kicking myself for not sticking around for that.
There will be videos rolling out from our good pal John Dorn over at 4-String Films pretty soon. I think he's got his hands tied over there right now. With
he is awesome. He just posted on our Facebook page saying he's listening and he loves Jake Hill's new album and listening to you.
Yeah, and related to John Dorn, Eva Walsh has a new record coming out that she's starting. She's so busy with the Kingsley Flood stuff, but I'm really excited to hear some of her new stuff and what she's been brewing on. So
we've been talking a lot about Passim, and I think she has a show there coming up early April. Yes,
it's a 10-string serenade.
Yes, that looks really cool too.
Yeah, she's just. I always say this about it, but she's the most tasteful musician. One of the most talented, but also the most tasteful. She knows right where to play and right where not to play, and sometimes it's about the notes you don't play.
And her harmony vocals are right on, too.
It's ridiculous. She's playing, actually, with Mark Whitaker at my release show.
Which is when?
Wednesday, March 25th.
It's coming up fast, man.
It is. It's nuts. But, yeah, it's going to be a great night.
Yeah, Passim is hopping these days. Matt Smith knows what he's doing over there.
Matt's the best. He's another one of these people that I really consider family, and he's been so good to me and so many of my friends. And
he's right here from Marshfield too.
Yeah, hey, it's something in the water down here on the.
It is. I think it is.
Just breeds great people. But Matt's great. Passim's great. It's one of the few listening rooms in town, and you get an audience, whether it's 10 people or 100 people. They're there to listen to music and really appreciate it. So. And
it's one of the few places that has a built-in crowd too.
Yeah, I mean, every time I go there, if I play a show or if I attend a show, there's always new faces that I don't know. So it's nice. It seems like it's growing, and of course you see some familiar faces, but it's a wonderful place.
Now, the project you were talking about earlier tonight, the Locals Covering Locals, both volumes of that, maybe even all 3 volumes, were partially funded by the Iguana Fund, which is affiliated with Club Passim, right?
Yes. Volumes 1 and 3. Volume 2 kind of may or may not have come out of my own pocket in some senses, and also with some friends, some help from friends. Chuck Honnett has been a real big supporter of what we're doing in music around in general. Speaking of folks around the Club Passim community.
Now, how does the Iguana Fund work?
I think around end of summer, August timeframe, they open up submissions for it, where you basically kind of write like a college essay of sorts, saying what you're going to do with the money, and a very top secret society. I don't really know who it is, but they go behind the scenes and
they decide whether you're worthy.
Yeah, and they make the choices, and we've been lucky enough that they see some value in this project, and we've gotten 2 of them so far, so it's allowed us to do 2 out of the 3 volumes.
Fantastic. And as we said, that's all basically Matt Smith's baby over at Passim, who like you said is just an amazing person. He kind of runs the Cambridge folk scene in a way.
Yeah, he's pulling the strings a bit, perhaps. Yeah. Good
stuff there. Brian Carroll's in our studio tonight. What is next on your set list tonight?
That's a good question. I don't really have a set list, but let's go with...
Can I request one of my favorite songs by you? Maybe?
Maybe, yeah. What is it?
Devil Won't?
Yeah, we could do that, I think. Yeah, I think we can do it.
All right, cool.
This is from...
It's on live radio.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no swears in this one, right?
I don't think so.
Yes, this is off of an EP I released a couple years back called Blood and Water. But yeah, it's called Devil Won't Get Me Down. Get me down. I said the devil won't get me down. Oh yeah, devil won't get me down, mama. I ain't about to drown. I said the devil won't get me down. Oh yeah, well the devil, yeah, he came knocking on my door late last night. He said he'd drown me in that river, oh man, I ain't going without a fight. The devil won't get me down, the devil won't get me down. I said the devil won't get me down, oh yeah. The devil won't get me down, mama, I ain't about to drown. I said the devil won't get me down, oh yeah. And I swear here, I'm gonna quit soon. I'm gonna dry hell, yeah, get on my way. But that devil sure to rise up, hey, again. Oh, the prices that we pay. Devil won't get me down, devil won't get me down. I said the devil won't get me down, oh yeah.
Devil won't get me down, mama, I ain't about to drown. I said the devil won't get me down, oh yeah. Devil won't get me down, oh the devil won't get me down. I said the devil won't get me down, oh yeah. The devil won't get me down, mama, I ain't about to drown. I said the devil won't get me down, oh yeah.
Brian Caroll on the tiny stage tonight, 95.9 WATD. Devil Won't on the South Shores radio station. Nice job, man.
Well, thanks. Thanks so much. Thanks for the request.
My pleasure. Anytime. We've been playing that song for years. When did that come out? 2012?
Probably 2012. Yeah, I recorded that up in New Hampshire with a guy named John Nolan, who's a great guy who has recently gotten out of the recording game, sadly, but a really great ear for music, and just a fantastic musician and a great guy.
Excellent. BrianCarollMusic.com is your website?
Yes, BrianCarollMusic.com.
And Bandcamp, find them on Bandcamp. The new CDs are streaming there as well. I don't think I've ever asked this question in all the times that you've been on here, but tell us about your musical background. How did you get started writing and playing?
My musical background. So when I was young, I guess I was about 12 or so, a friend of mine's parents bought him a guitar, and I coveted a guitar so bad. And my parents said, if you want one, you have to earn it. So I went out and I got a paper route, and I bought my first guitar. And a couple weeks later, my buddy whose parents bought him his guitar, said he didn't want to play anymore, and here I am, however many years later, still playing, I guess. So, I started because I wanted to play guitar like Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then I picked up a record called Stranger's Almanac, and then soon after that, Heartbreaker by a fellow named Ryan Adams, and Whiskey Town was the band of the first record, and I decided that I want to write songs like that, and so still trying to do it at least.
Speaking of Stevie Ray Vaughan, the man, the myth, the legend is just walking into the studio tonight, Mr. Peter Black, who is the king of all things blues here in the Boston area. Pete, how you doing tonight?
Just the myth. I don't know about the king, but happy St. Patty's, everybody.
Same to you, my friend.
Show sounds great.
What's coming up tonight on the Wide World of Blues?
We're going to feature a live Van Morrison concert that's phenomenal tonight, and some music from Rory Gallagher as well.
Fantastic. That's coming your way at 10 o'clock here on 95.9 WATD. And if you're in the car, you might be driving out of signal range, fear not. Just go to 959watd.com. There's a link to stream us not only on your computer, but to the iPhone as well. So you can Bluetooth us to your stereo and keep rocking to WATD all night long. Almost Famous goes till 10 o'clock tonight. Then the Wide World of Blues takes you till 2 a.m. And then At the Hop, some great oldies, goes till 5. And then we're back to the morning show from 5 till 10. So good stuff coming up here on ATD. I think I'll be sleeping by the time the morning show is on. We have Brian Caroll in studio tonight. Brian, thank you so much for coming by. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for having me, John. It's always a pleasure to be here at WATD.
Let's talk a little bit more about this show coming up next Wednesday. Your CD release show, or is it an EP release show?
It's a double EP.
Double EP release show, which kind of equals an album?
Sure, why not? Someone actually said you should just call it Still Canyon instead of Still and Canyon. But yeah, it's a great show. Chuck Melcham, my good buddy from the Bean Pickers Union, will be there with Andy Santaspago alongside of him. Mark Whitaker with Eva Walsh, and Ian Fitzgerald as well. And Ian will be joining me for my set. We have some special stuff planned that I'm really excited about.
Nice. Well, let's hear another song from you, and I'm going to get Margot on the mic afterwards to talk about what's going on with all the video equipment in studio tonight that you obviously can't see, but we'll be seeing once the videos are uploaded to YouTube. But what's next on your set list tonight, Brian?
Since we did a kind of a nasty song about the town I grew up in, we'll do one with good memories, and it's probably the only blues song I've ever actually written. So, yeah, it'll go into the 10 o'clock hour nicely, I guess.
All right.
me share with you a story about this guy I know. Went by the name of old Joe Caroll. He used to live in a house on Strawberry Lane, sitting in his haunted just to pass the day. Hey Joe, what are you doing today? He used to live over by that old gum tree, and he would harvest all of its sweet treats for me. Spent his days lounging in the shade, climbing tall pines. Boy, don't be afraid. Hey Joe, I really miss you today. And I said, hey Joe Crow, you coming out to play? I said, hey Joe Crow, man, it's a wonderful day. I said, hey Joe Crow, man, you're alright with me. Well, you heard about love giving sight to the blind. My baby loved me 'cause the sun do shine, and she my sweet little thing. Oh, she my pride and joy. She my sweet little baby. I'm her little lover boy. Well, I love my baby, she long and lean. Mess with her, you see a man get mean. She my sweet little thing. She my pride and joy. She my sweet little baby. I'm her little lover boy. Now old Joe Crow was long and lean, sitting in the sun, he don't need sunscreen. Spent his day lounging in the yard, waving to the people passing by in cars. Hey Joe, I really miss you today. And I said, hey Joe Crow, you coming out to play? I said, hey Joe Crow, man, it's a wonderful day. I said, hey Joe Crow, man, you're alright. I said, hey Joe Crow, man, you're alright. I said, hey Joe Crow, you're alright with me.
Brian Caroll on 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that, man.
A little Stevie Ray Vaughan in there.
Yeah. I remember a couple of years ago we had this 12-year-old singer-songwriter named Emily Hodges in studio.
I do remember that, yes.
And I don't know, I forget why you were here that night, but she busted into some Stevie Ray Vaughan, and you were like calling up, like, who was that?
I was in the other room, and she was, I think, sound checking with it, and I was like, what 12-year-old girl singer is not playing Taylor Swift and playing Stevie Ray Vaughan? I can get on board with that.
Very cool. It is 9:51. We have to take a timeout. Out of the timeout, we'll do the concert calendar. We'll check in with Margot from the Raynham Channel, and then maybe one more song from you?
Sure.
All right, sounds good. This is 95.9 WATD, the South Shores radio station. And we're back on 95.9 WATD. Before we go back to the tiny stage, a few concert calendar updates to let you know about. This Thursday night, Molly Pinto Madigan has her CD release show for Wild Woodbride happening at Club Passim in Cambridge with the Whiskey Boys. MollyPintoMadigan.com for more information on her single cast. And Phil Pacino hit the Hard Rock Cafe in Boston on March 21st. Amy Kacharik is at Sally O'Brien's March 22nd. You can see the Swingin' Steaks this Friday, March 20th, at the Parlor Room in Northampton. The Daybreakers Band has a show this Saturday at City Oasis in Norton. It's a fundraiser for Rock for a Cure for the American Cancer Society. And then April 10th, they're playing at the Hard Rock in the city. Jake Hill has his final open mic at the Spire in Plymouth this Thursday night. Liz Longley is playing at the Narrows in Fall River on March 27th. And also a happy birthday to Patrick Coman, who played the folk series with Krista Ganidik last night at the Wonder Bar in Alston. Right now, we are being joined by a good friend of Almost Famous, Margot. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Now, you're with the Raynham Channel. You've been filming here for a few months now.
I have, yeah. I've been filming here about 6 months, I guess. Coming in pretty much every week, minus snow, of course, but
And holidays.
and holidays and everything. But yeah, we've really enjoyed coming here, and so many great live local musicians, and so actually we're jumping the gun a little bit, but tonight will be our 17th episode, I believe. So coming up pretty soon is the 20th, which we're very excited about.
Excellent. And there's a number of ways these episodes can be seen, correct?
Yeah, that's we are theraynhamchannel.com. That is our website, and there's a link to our YouTube page and our Facebook page and everything. And actually on our YouTube channel, we have a playlist of all the Almost Famous shows that we've filmed.
Excellent. And they're all available, too, if you search for Almost Famous on WATD on YouTube, I believe, as well.
Exactly, yeah. And, we've had so many great responses to it, too. I think anyone who, I guess I'm extending it to any any local musicians, if you would like to do a show with us outside of the radio station as well, you can just contact us. All our contact information is on our website, theraynhamchannel.com, and we would love to set up a show with you.
Thank you so much, Margot.
Thanks for having me on.
Brian, back to you. Again, the show this next Wednesday night, Club Passim.
Yes, sir, the 25th.
All right. And BrianCarollMusic.com is where you can go to find more information on Brian. Thank you again so much for coming down tonight. We always love having you here. What are you taking us home with?
I'm trying to figure out how to play this Patrick Coleman song, being that it is his birthday. It seems fitting, yeah? So I guess we'll try that.
All right. Happy birthday, Patrick.
Happy birthday, Patrick.
Peter Black and the Wide World of Blues comes your way next.
Well, I woke up this morning with the blue jean cigarette dream. I said I woke up this morning with the blue jean cigarette dream. I'm gonna go downtown, I'm gonna find me something pretty and lean. I've been told, pretty baby, you know that when it rains it pours. I've been told, pretty mama, you know that when it rains it pours. And the wind comes howling every time you come and knocking at my door. Went outside, held my hand and prayed. The rain don't stop, Lord, the levee's gonna break. I ain't got time for more bad news. I've done spent all my energy trying to keep up with you. Down between my knees, I said I woke up this morning, put my head down between my knees. 'Cause I'm a full-grown man, I'm gonna do just what I please. I went outside, held my hand and prayed. Well, the rain don't stop, Lord, the levee's gonna break. I ain't got time more bad news. I've done spent all my energy trying to keep up with you. I said I done spent all my energy trying to keep up with you. I've done spent all my energy trying to keep up with